Hi. In today's tech tip video, I want to go over the importance of really fully utilizing the calendar feature in Schoology to help with learners of all ages organize their work and their time the most effectively. And to do so, I want to start with showing you an updates, what the updates field looks like, especially one that's heavily populated. I think it's fair to say that my Schoology feed might be one of the heaviest populated in our campus. So keeping that in mind, I do want to scroll with you to show you the first post I received today. It's this one. So this is the first post of the day for me. Now, again, I'm going to repeat, I'm a member of a lot of courses and groups, but some of our students are members of 6 courses, maybe a few more, maybe a few less, depending, of course, on the age level of the student. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're thinking about updates and trying to figure out where's the best place for me to put information. We want to think about the updates as the trigger or the notification, hey, there's something new for me to look at. But that's about where it should end. And the information really needs to always be anchored to something else in Schoology for the students so that the scrolling isn't necessary. Okay, so you use the update to sort of notify, to get attention, and then we're going to look at the calendar to see where those things are anchored. So it just so happens, I'm going to take a moment to give a shout out to science teacher Kate Gandon in the upper school, because I happen to be an admin in 2 of her science classes, her forensics classes and her bio honors classes at the moment. For an unrelated reason, we're looking at troubleshooting something, and that was an easier way for me to access that. However, it's really helpful for today's video because if you look, I've got these beautiful assignments, discussion boards, and some calendar events populated by Kate as her students would see them. So we're going to use those as an example as well. So now I'm going to look at this calendar. And it starts obviously by date order, right? And it's going to show me the things that are relevant for Tuesday, March 17th. That's today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. She leads with Bio H for Bio Honors, so her students know immediately which class it is. And then she's got, a decent description up there. And I'm sure if I clicked on the link, we would see a lot of content in there. I can recognize by the icon that this is an assignment, this is a discussion board. And if I look to tomorrow, Wednesday, March 18th, I see a calendar event. It tells me right away, Bio Honors Zoom Extra Help, forensics, and so on and so forth. I see an assignment due by noon. Then I see these 2 things. Spoiler alert, I created them in one of my test courses as an example. I have to hover to know which course this extra help belongs to. I don't know it right from reading, and I also don't have a time for it. So I actually don't know where in my day that's going to fit. Okay, same with this Zoom session. So these are things we want to think about. We want to think about what the fields are going to look like for the students and for their parents, because parents see this calendar stream as well. So now that we've looked at how it's populated here, I do want to show you the calendar view, which can be, yes, a little overwhelming at first glance. But if we take it down a notch and go from month to day, we can actually see for those items that have been populated with a start time and a stop time, or assignments with their due date, the calendar event lives during the hour in which an assignment is due, okay? Then we can really get a sense of balance for the day. We can kind of figure out where things are going to fall for our dates, sort of how to break out different assignments and so on and so forth. And so the critical piece about a due date on an assignment, really, especially in a distance learning situation like this, it's not going to prevent the student from submitting it if it has a due date. It's simply going to help them block their time better. So I'm going to go back to my home, I should say, by clicking on our school seal. And I'm going to take us into some of my test courses to look at a couple different varieties. So I'm going to click on courses, and I'm going to navigate first to this test course. I have 3 of them. And so I have this assignment. It says submit work here. And it has Thursday to 2 days from now as the assignment due date. So it would show up when I got to that part of my calendar. However, it just says submit work here. It doesn't say Metzger or English or whatever course it was that I'm teaching. And that's the same case here with neither of these having a start or stop time. So just remember when you're creating those calendar events, you want to get that start time, okay, at AM, PM. You want to get that end time in there. Let's say it's 2:30. And we want to change this to my name. I'm going to say English this time. Okay, and if I go back now to my home and I look at that, English extra help, it's now falling right there at 2 p.m. I can see where it falls is sort of in the layout of my day. Let's go into one of my other test courses and look at another example. In this example, I'm going to show you, I hope, if I remember to click the right one, I'm going to show you an example of how you can make one assignment be an entire day. So we're going to look at this. It's the Metzger March 19th. So I'm going to click on this assignment. I made it a Google Drive assignment, but attached to the Google Drive assignment, I recorded a little video of myself explaining some things and 2 links to different videos. So in my web recording instructions, I say, I want you to watch these 2 short videos. They're each 3 minutes long. And then I am pretending that this assignment description is to write a response on how we solve riddles or deal with complicated problems. But either way, so you can really build your assignments to have everything that they need as a module all built together in one. And then if you notice how I've named this assignment, right? It's got my last name as the teacher and the date that this I feel would be their work for the day. And yes, I've set it to be due by midnight on March 19th. But that has really far less to do with when I expect them to submit it as it does with me trying to help guide their planning and their thinking into how to balance out their day. You can make due dates anytime you want. It doesn't have to be 11:59. That's just the default. So let's just talk one last time. Major takeaways I want to summarize. It's a good idea to use your updates field as sort of a notification of your own, and then direct the updates field back into the whatever the important item is you want them to look at. If you want something done in a particular order or on a particular day, try your best to use a calendar date and try your best to get some due dates in there, due times in there as well to try to help balance out the way that it looks. So if it's an event, it should have a start time and a stop time. If it's work that students would be engaging in, even if it's just a link to watch a video, give that a due date as well. And not to see if it's late, but simply to help them say, okay, this is on my calendar for today, Wednesday, March 18th. And that will give them a populated, in order sort of outline for their day, a digital checklist, if you will. And all of it is connected and clickable for the students, and the parents will really appreciate seeing everything in order like that. I really hope that this information has been helpful. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out with questions.